Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Tri. My name's Travis, and this is the Triathlon Weekly News Roundup. I'm finally back. I feel like I jinxed myself a little bit. I said that I don't think I've missed a week of the Triathlon Weekly News, and here I have in the last month been a little bit inconsistent. But we're back, and now the Triathlon Weekly News is officially presented by thefeed.com. I'm so stoked that they decided to back me and the channel from the get-go, and now they're the headline sponsors of the Triathlon Weekly News. So if you guys could do me a favor, head to their website and check out how amazing it is. They really do put a lot of work into making it the best fueling and recovery source for all triathletes. And I used them before they reached out to me to sponsor the channel, and I was just blown away by how good the website works, how much variety you have on there. And I'm sure you've seen lots of the professional athletes talking about it because it's for good reason. They really are an amazing team over there. And you get $20 on me several times throughout the year if you join my athlete club down below. Right now they've got free shipping over $65, and you can pick yourself up one of my water bottles if you spend that much money, or you could send me an order confirmation and I'll send you a water bottle out if you didn't make it to $65. So super stoked about that. But we're diving into the news this week, and we're doing it as the top 10 format again. So at number 10, I've got Ironman Hamburg, and the news that just came out today where Max Newman is now no longer racing there against Jan Frodeno and Alistair Brownlee. Kind of a bummer. I was really excited to see them go head-to-head again. However, Jan Frodeno versus Alistair Brownlee is no small consolation. So still super excited for that race this Sunday, and it looks like Max turned up a little bit rough, as he said to Jack Kelly on how they train after the PTO race. So he's sticking closer to home, getting ready for Nice, and he's my favorite for that race right now, especially after his performance. So it'll be interesting to see if that pays off for him, and I bet he's actually going to turn up on the Ironman Cairns start list on June 18th to defend his title there, and I think that'll work out better for him than being over in Europe racing those guys. So super excited for that race, though, coming up. The start list is massive. It's the pro men only. It's going to be a really good race starting early in the morning there on Sunday. So really bad timing for us here in the US, but enjoy it to all my European followers. I can't wait to watch the run back of the race. All right, at number 9, I've got short course racing is really back, and it is heating up better than ever. On the men's side, the clash between Alex Yee and Hayden Wild at Cagliari is starting to remind me of watching Alistair Brownlee race Javier Gomez back in the day. Their rivalry is really starting to equal that, and I can't wait to see how it progresses, how this season progresses, but also as it gets closer to the Olympics. They look unstoppable right now, and Alex Yee looks slightly more unstoppable. His run is just unmatched. Hayden Wild's so close there, but Alex Yee usually gets the better of him. Alex Yee is now starting to be compared to the likes of Alistair Brownlee, as his swim has gotten so much better and his bike is insane. Even after a rough start on the beach where it looked like he fell, he still managed to swim right up into the top of the race there, and I think he could be one for the future, one of the greats alongside Hayden Wild. And on the women's side as well, it's looking better and better. Georgia Taylor-Brown came back and took a victory like she did before there in Cagliari. And all of those women right now are getting stronger and stronger, which in my opinion is evening them out a little bit as Flora Duffy recovers from her knee injury. And to me, that means that this race towards the Olympic is getting tighter and tighter. Taylor Knibb's another one who's been out struggling for injury. So that's given a lot of chance for a lot of these women to raise their game up to that level. And I'm really excited to see how this season plays out, especially Sophie Caldwell versus Georgia Taylor-Brown. Now, I think that's a race I want to see after they've taken a couple of their most recent wins, as well as Gwen Jorgensen and the race for the U.S. Olympic spots. Cagliari did not go well for her as she got lapped out on the bike. Katie Zavirs ended up coming in 12th, so she took home some points, whereas Gwen didn't. It's still looking a little tough for her, and not sure where she's going to go from here. She's probably going to race in June in Mexico, but not sure how many of those points are going to add up to get her closer to that Olympic spot for Paris. So exciting to see how that turns out for her. And then next on the list, in case you missed it, this one was a couple weeks ago, Well, Christian and Gustav shared their ridiculous schedule coming up for August. It looks like they're for sure going to be racing the Paris test event, then going to the PTO Singapore race just a couple days later, and then going back to Europe for the 70.3 World Championships in Finland, and giving it their best shot there for Christian to defend his title, for Gustav to try and get it back. He also mentioned that they might try out the PTO US Open on August 5th if they can. That might be one of the most ridiculous months for those two. And it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if they surprised all of us and raced in Nice at the World Champs. They haven't, in my opinion, completely denied that they'll be there. I know they're 100% focused on short course. They've said that, but I don't see why they don't just wing it. It would be quite fun to see that. All right, then at number 7, we've got how Will McCloy was interviewed on Try247.com, and he was asked whether sub-7, sub-8 was another possibility in the future. For those of you that don't know, Will McCloy is one of the best presenters, hosts, commentators in our sport, in my opinion, and he did a fantastic job with that event. And he said that the possibility of 2 events are in the works, with one of them being for a wider audience, and that we might hear an announcement soon-ish for those races. So super excited to hear about that. I absolutely love the sub-7, sub-8. I love the head-to-head battle, and I think it would be great for our sport if more of those come out every year. That can attract more people and just reach a wider audience to help our sport grow. So more of that, please. Can't wait to hear from that. At number 6, we've got the London Triathlon, the world's biggest city center triathlon, becomes Challenge London. This is a pretty epic acquisition from Challenge, as they add now a middle distance race to the list of races that go on there that will allow for elite athletes to compete. Just super exciting. What a great venue to host our pros. Can't wait to see how that race unfolds in the future. At number 5, we've got Paris is cleaning up the River Seine. A huge investment of $1.5 billion from that city that apparently helped them win the Olympic bid to clean their river. And it looks like they've actually done a lot already. There's a lot of hurdles that they're having to overcome. You can read more about it on the New York Times article. I thought it was fascinating. They're first trying to get it ready for the Olympics, like I said, and then they're trying to get it ready to be swimmable for all their citizens. And that would be a huge accomplishment if they did. Right now, the tests are coming back 90% fair, so it'll take an Olympic committee to make a decision whether it is swimmable. And we'll see more of that coming up with the Paris test event, which I'm super excited about. The course for the Olympics looks amazing. So I would definitely check out that article. How cool is that they're cleaning up the Seine? From there, we got number 4, Magnus Ditlev's power numbers that were shared from the PTO European Open. Again, this was with Jack Kelly from How They Train. 433 watts for 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? That is almost double my threshold. It's kind of to be expected, honestly, for him to pull off a bike performance like we saw at that race. And I pictured myself would be in and around those numbers. He truly is on another level, and David McNamee commented on there saying perhaps one of the greatest triathlon cyclists in history. I think it's hard to argue against that right now. He's not only so strong, but it seems like he's also incredibly aerodynamic, and he's also very inventive, changing the game with wearing a cooling hydration bladder at Kona, and we know he's worked so hard on heat prep, on his triathlon suit, on his position, on his custom front end. He is really inventive, intuitive with how he's pushing the limits on the bike. So crazy to see those numbers. And now everybody has a clue to what they're going to have to ride if they want to keep up with him. From there, number 3, quick news that Wahoo, one of the most popular triathlon indoor cycling and tech brands, was actually saved recently. It looks like things were going to trash for that company. They took out a $225 million loan during the pandemic when things were actually going well for them. There's a full article by DC Rainmaker on it. They ended up suing Zwift in the whole process and another company. But now, when it looked like all things were lost, they were actually saved by 3 equal share investors who have cleared the debt from their company and invested more into the future of it. So thankfully, you'll be seeing more of Wahoo in the future. At number 2, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this already, Lionel Sanders is going back to healthy eating. It's actually such big news because Lionel has not performed in the last 2 races to what we know he's capable of, and something has seemed off for quite a while for him. And as you see in the video, he admits that too, that he hasn't felt great on a race day, even when he came second at St. George World Champs for a very long time. So I'm really excited to see this change in him. I honestly can't even judge him, as this seems like something that is so simple. Like, why isn't a professional athlete eating healthy? Of course, it's going to benefit him. But I myself, I know I need to stretch after I work out, and I don't stretch. It's just something about us humans where we do not want to do the things that we know will benefit us the most sometimes, and I totally relate to Lionel. So great to see that he's making this change. Surely this is not going to be one of those changes that negatively impacts him like we've seen before, and I'm excited to see that he's already seen some progress from it, and can't wait to watch him at 70.3 Boulder coming up. And then at number 1, we've got Collin Chartier is back. He posted on his Instagram that he is now homeless, bike touring around the place. And yeah, probably not what everybody was expecting if they ever heard from Collin again. And he probably pissed off a few people by putting on there, if the haters want to hate some more, they can drop in the comments and boost his Instagram algorithm. To which Steve McKenna, I think, summed up a lot of people's opinion on it, which just said dog on it, which, if you don't know what that means in Australian slang, you should look that up. It would probably make a lot of sense. And yeah, so that was not what I was expecting to hear from Collin Chartier after his absence from the media lately. So yeah, he's probably not the most popular one still after that, but it looks like, thankfully, he's doing okay after all the reaction. I would never wish anything but that on another human. I wish he'd come out and said he was doing more for being open and honest and helping out with the doping control in the sports and everything like that. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments. A few more segments to end the show this week, and my hot take for this Triathlon Weekly News Roundup is that Magnus Margerier, kind of hard to say that name. I think I did okay. I think he'll be the next up-and-coming underdog Max Newman in the next couple of years. Ranked 23 right now in the world, with a second at Lanzarote, second at Challenge Gran Canaria. After an ankle injury at that race, somehow managed to make it to the Challenge Champs and take the win over the likes of Aaron Royal and Frederick Funk. I think he's going to be an absolute powerhouse in the future. He's got the short course swim background, growing up and through the ranks with the likes of Sam Laidlow, and he's also a monster on the bike, biking with Frederick Funk at that Challenge Championship, so we know he's strong there. And then he's also got an unbelievable middle distance run so far. We haven't seen him doing anything longer yet. And yeah, he just looks like the all-around athlete, kind of like how Max Newman is. So far, he's racing the next 2 races in his home country of France, and then he's preparing for the PTO US Open, which is now qualified for. And then right after that, 70.3 Worlds, which I think could be a massive breakthrough race for him. He seems like a great character, a good person for the sport, and yeah, I think he's going to be one to watch. So keep an eye out for Magnus. Hopefully, I get to see him at the PTO US Open and interview him for you guys. Then we've got the video of the week and the article of the week, and this week's video of the week is Gustav Eden being interviewed by Alex Filitti. Kind of hard to say that name as well. It just made me crack up. I'll link it in the description. You just have to watch it. And then the article of the week is by Tim Hemming on Triathlete Magazine, and it talks about the PTO and where it stands currently. But in the article, he explains a little bit of the background, gives you a little bit of where they are now and what it could be in the future. So I definitely recommend that one. And then finally, my recommendation of the week is the Arrow Oates Triathlon newsletter. This guy is an amazing writer. He sums up pro triathlon news super well on his email, and he also creates amazing graphics on there that sometimes he shares. And one that he recently shared is how different countries compare in the rankings, which I thought was super insightful. So definitely recommend his newsletter. Okay, so that's it for this week. I think it went a little bit long, but yeah, we've got lots of upcoming races. We've got Boulder 70.3 with all the usual North American athletes. We've got Ironman 70.3 Switzerland with Ashley Gentle now signed up on there for taking on Daniela Reef. That's going to be a special one. Like I said, Ironman Cairns And then it's Challenge Roth, which I'll be heading to. I'm super excited to help create content with Challenge, hopefully from some funny content as well for you guys to enjoy. And I'll be there on the live stream being the field reporter, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Help support me, give me some encouragement there. I'm a little nervous to go do that, but also super, super excited. And then, as always, stay tuned for the new interviews that I'm doing 7 questions with. I've got another one coming out tomorrow, as well as 1 or 2 lined up for the future after that. So I'm really excited to keep that one consistent on the channel. As always, please check out thefeed.com for me and let me know if there's anything you want to know about the website or what I'd recommend. I'll help you out with that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name's Travis again. I appreciate all of you. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Write me any messages if you're curious about anything. I'll always get back to you eventually. So thank you, guys. Have a great night. Have a great day. Take care.